Dun, dun, dun. Good evening, Cubes of the Cash. Gary B, the Casual Comic Guy here, and we are here with another In the Hot Seat with the usual suspects. I got my wingman tonight, Nick's Kix and Comix. How you doing, Nick?
I wish it was hot. It's 26 degrees here in Texas.
Yeah, it's cold here too. I mean, we don't get the balmy 26-degree weather in the North Country. Okay, so don't mock me with it. And we have our guest of the hour, Rosco from Geek Out with Rosco. How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for having me. This is awesome. It's an honor, Gary B, for you to be. I'm in the hot seat right now. This is awesome.
Right. And as we like to do, we're going to say hi to the people in the comments in a second. But I always like our guests to give a quick introduction of themselves, what they do for anyone that's going to catch us on the rewind. Because you already know the people who know you will be in the chat tonight. And then you'll have a new audience catch you in the rewind. And the rewind plays really well. And anyone watching on the rewind, all Roscoe's links are in the comments below, in the description below. So you can follow him on Instagram and YouTube with the click of a button. I couldn't make it any easier. And that fellow below me, Nick from Nick's Kix and Comix, his link's in the description below too. Follow everyone on this show. So Roscoe, start us out with a quick description, man. And I know you just came over from Sis Channel.
Yes, I just came over from Spinetix. Thursday we do a card ripping show, so it's something new that we've added. But you can catch me you can catch me every Saturday over on Spinetix, where it's just a madhouse of just crazy guys having a good old time, talking a little bit of comics and then a lot of everything else. But with me, I'm a little bit of an artist. I'm more of a cartoonist, and also my channel is, I like to be more comedy based. I think it's better to be positive energy, and just having a good time and laughing. I think that's the best thing. What up, Mama? But overall, I just like to have fun. That's me, man. You'll see me on a lot of people's channels, but yeah, just like to have fun. I do a little bit of art and hanging out.
Nice. Well, let's say hi to our audience real quick, because we got a turnout here for you. We got Evil Mike. Good evening, sir. Comics Talk Weekly. How you doing, Phil? Tylox the Mighty. Hello, sir. He's a future in the hot seat guest. Red Rude. How you doing? We have Sith Lordly. How you doing, Sith? Good to see you, sir. We, of course, have Chop and Drop. Ooh, let me see. I'm messing up my scrolling here. We got 3T Willie. How are you, sir?
Your mama.
Chop. And the hunt continues. How are you? Free Energy. Good evening, sir. And we have J80 Hobbies, a great little channel, too. How you doing? Cindy Ruskowski. Good evening. How are you? And let's see. And right now, Circumstances. Marcus, good evening, sir.
What up, bro?
All right, so let's get into it. We got a lot of great people in the chat already. Cosplay, how are you? Now, what is that? What are you playing, Nick?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. We'll have to get the info on that.
Oh man, that's if you know that noise, you've definitely watched Roscoe's Late Night Addiction show that I put. It's a clip I play on.
Well, I was going to ask you about that, because you got a couple of shows on your channel, which I'd like you to talk about for the audience that's going to see this on the rewind. The Between the Lines is your interview show.
Me and Chris from Cardboard Crazies.
Yep. And Roscoe's Late Night Addiction.
Mm-hmm.
And of course you do Cover Slingers, you do Spine Ticks.
Yep.
So you're a bit like the rest of us. You're a bit of a YouTube whore. You make your rounds.
Oh yeah. But I love this community. How can you not love these people? Like, how can you not love these guys? I mean, of course I want to spend time with them, you know? So anytime someone's like, hey, you want to come on? I'm like, yeah, I'll be right there. You know, like I mean, it's just fun. I say it until I'm blue in the face. It's the best community in the world. I know that there's ups and downs with certain things, but to be honest with you, the good outweighs the bad tenfold for me. So, and the people that you meet and the people that just you build relationships with, it's amazing. I love it. You know, so
Right. And so what, you've been on YouTube, what, a year now?
it's about a year. Yeah.
Yeah.
I started my channel. That's coming up on a year. But I started doing YouTube when I started on Rod the Rican's channel. Lamer Frame was one of the first. Never enough Nicks. It was the first time I was on YouTube, was on his channel, and that's from a year from there. It was February. So I've been kind of on people's YouTube channels and stuff like that. But then I started my own, which is coming up on a year.
Now,
So-
what made you decide to start your own channel? What was the impetus for that?
To be honest with you, it's a bug, man. It's honestly, I called it YouTube bug. You know, once you appear on a show or you appear with someone else, I think it's, you want to be like, oh, I can do this. And I get, you know, because I think if like a lot of people that do YouTube are very creative. So I think people go, you know what, I think I have an idea. But then there's also people that will go, I want to show my stuff off. Like, you know, why not do a YouTube channel where I can show people what I got, or, you know what I mean? Because I think we all get excited too, because a lot of us are friends. And
Right.
so I think a lot of us like to watch one another, and I think we get excited and we want to show, like I would love, like, you know, show one of the guys like, yo, I got this book. For example, I'm just going to show you this. I just recently got this. Now I'm a big cartoon fan. So Bob's Burgers, it's the Baltimore Comic-Con edition. And the reason I got this book is because it's me dressed as Tina. So I had to get this book. So
And
that's
it's a
just
great show.
Oh yeah, I love that show. But as soon as I saw this book, it had to be on my PC. I mean, like I said, I mean, I love the show, but I mean that's me. There's a guy with glasses, a beard, fat
Right.
guy. I mean, that it's me to a T. So, but anyway, I got that in the mail. A lot of people loved it. You know, like, you know, I showed it on Roscoe's Late Night Addiction. So I think a lot of us like to show what we got. Even if we, like, I know people that are like, man, I only got 200 subs, but I don't care. I'm doing it for fun. My friends like to watch me and stuff like that. So, I mean, a lot of people aren't here for fame, you know, and a lot of people just like doing it for fun. And it becomes like a hobby in a way, where it's like you collect your books and then you go, I'm going to show them off, or I'm going to make a video. And so so I started that, you know, and then I also started like thinking of like comedy ideas, like Check Your Shorts I started doing, and those have been a lot of fun. I've done one with about Chip, and I've done about Rod the Rican. So don't worry, I'll be doing a lot of people from the community. So.
And, you know, and I agree with that sentiment too, because when I started, it was just to learn about YouTube, because I know my son was interested in it and wanted to do it one day. So I wanted to learn the ins and outs of it. And coming up and being on YouTube ended up being a hobby for me. So
Yep.
out of all the day's stresses, I go to YouTube to relax. And then I get to hang out with people like you, Nick, Rob, Jimmy, and
Well, not Jimmy.
it's the new bar. It's the new hangout.
It's very true. Yeah, it's very true, especially for comic book lovers. I mean, it's insane. But I was going to say it's a place to let your hair down, but
You know what, too? It
Get 'em,
does
sis.
so much more than wanting to show stuff off, because I've learned about so many different things that weren't out there that I just didn't know to collect, that I didn't know that I wanted. You know, so earlier tonight I found that DC did a Warner Brothers mashup, and there was a cover with Marvin the Martian, my favorite guy,
oh yeah.
with all the Green Lantern rings on. So I was like, whoa. And had not been part of the Instagram comic book community, I wouldn't have known about it. So cool stuff you see people getting, stuff you want to buy after that. So
Absolutely, I know, and it's like you love it, but then at the end of the day, you're like, man, my wallet just got a little bit thinner too.
Well, that's the other thing. It's a great community, but the community costs you money. When you see someone get something and you haven't heard of that book before, and then you get the ooh, and you run down to LCS to get it because now you want to read it, and now you're in for this another series, and that's what, another $4 or $5 a book every month, and
Oh,
and we're in a great time. There's so much good stuff out there to read, you know.
oh,
So
there's a ton.
let's talk about your art for a minute. Obviously, you're an artist, and would you say you're more of a caricature artist or a spoof artist, or are you like?
I'm more of a I put myself in cartoonist category. I'm more of like more to the cartoon themed. Caricature artist to me though is like the people who draw like the big head on someone
Gotcha.
riding a bicycle or something. Don't get me wrong, those people kill it. But to me, I mean I could do something like that, but I like to do my own spin. Like here, I'll show you example. Like I said, I'm a big Dexter's Laboratory as
nice.
Doc Ock. You know, like I like to do like different different stuff like that. You know, so I'm more of like I said a cartoonist than I am a realist or But I do want to go into other like areas. Like I would love to start doing some painting and stuff like that. But there's only so many hours in a day.
Yeah. And for me, seeing your stuff, like I seen you on Lima Frame a billion different times on the show, sending in stuff, and your art to me is on a whole nother level. But where you really shine is how you portray a character. Nobody would ever think to put Dexter with Doc Ock's arms, and some of the stuff that I've seen from you literally blows my mind on so many different levels, because it's not only the art that's just like highly accurate, it's the situations you put them in, or the mashup, so to speak, that you create. Is just unbelievable, man.
Yeah, for example, I don't know if you guys saw, but Cole, Cole from Comic Burrito.
Yep.
He does like comic book stuff. I don't know if you know him. He's got a mustache.
Those comic claims. His channel.
I don't know Cole.
Yeah, some people do.
Sounds like a D-bag to me, honestly.
Nick's already trolling.
Yeah. Yeah, hi Cole. Yeah. I did like you said, a mashup. I did Vulture, Spider-Man's Vulture, but I did Herbert the Pervert from Family Guy, the old man.
That whistles when he talks.
Yeah, like, hey Jesse. Oh, wonder where the paper boy was. Hoping he can bring me some good news. So I did that crossover for him. But I love to do different stuff that people don't really think of. Like behind me, I don't know if you can see, like over here, I did a baby Grogu, and he's got a gold chain, but it has the Mandalorian helmet.
Nice.
Yeah, I've done that.
I can see that for sure.
I have something that's killing the children. Oh, right here. This right here is my Ghost Rider, but I did it a sugar skull. Sugar, like the ones with the little flowers and like little
right.
Yeah. So, I try to do different stuff that, people are not really thinking of, just to be different. Even though I'm a cartoonist and people have seen cartoon drawings all the time, I still want to put my own little twist or something different that's in that category. So
now, do you have any artistic influences that got you interested in doing that kind of stuff, or you just developed it on your own?
Well, I'm a major cartoon nut. Like I've been, I'm still a cartoon fan. I actually recently I've gotten into comic book collecting. 2018 I started slow, and then I'm into it like a train is picking up speed. Now I'm a locomotive going. So, but I started collecting all these comic books, like cartoon books, like Darkwing Duck, like 90s, 80s stuff, and Darkwing Duck, Gargoyles. I just got Tailspin, different stuff like that. That just like But I've always been cartoon oriented, so I've always wanted to draw more cartoon stuff. So I mean, as I got older, the person that I really love is Humberto Ramos. Humberto Ramos does some awesome, because his style has more of like a jagged, like if you ever look at it, it's not as clean. There's more of like a squareness to it, and it gives you that more of a cartoon feel, and I absolutely love that. But Scotty Young, I met Scotty Young in 2003 in Philadelphia, and I've been a fan of his since I could remember now. But he's been so awesome. But I love Scotty Young. I wish he wouldn't do as much the baby stuff. Don't get me wrong, some of it's good. But if you ever look at his old stuff, like Human Torch, Cable and Deadpool, Doctor Strange and Cable. Those are that artwork is insane. Venom, this old Venom. Check that stuff out because Scotty Young doesn't really draw like that anymore. But there's Scotty Young right there. Yep. So he's doing that old, like that baby stuff is how, like the little child, like the style. Marvel has honed in on that, and they're just making millions off of him, like doing that stuff. So
yeah, and it's a good paycheck for him, so I can see why he keeps doing it. Plus,
absolutely,
I like him as a writer too. I mean, he's multi-talented. Like Strange Academy, I have not read an issue of that I haven't loved.
That's my
The
number one comic.
They're quirky, they're individualistic, and they're fantastic.
Yep. Yeah, I see now. That's my number one book right now. Strange Academy is amazing. I love it, and it's Humberto Ramos on the art.
It is.
Yep. So, and then how can you not love Art Adams does some of the covers? I mean, come on, what? I mean, it's awesome. But also I loved The Me You Love in the Dark. He wrote that.
Yep.
With Jorge Corona did the artwork, which was fantastic. And then he also wrote something that I think everyone should read, which is called Middle West.
I've seen it. I've never read it.
Oh my gosh, you want to cry? There you go. No, it's very like it's very son father oriented. So, The Hunt. Yeah, I've been on The Hunt too. Oh,
he also Scotty's dropped something this week, a preview for something. I can't remember the name.
Twig,
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I saw Pocan got the review, and I was like, oh man, I want that. But
so
I'm excited.
Talk about what got you hooked on comics? Like you said, you just started reading comics in 2018. What was your gateway in? Were you like most of us, where this piece of art caught your eye and you picked it up, and next thing you know, you're hooked and you're grabbing more and more?
Well, I loved comics growing up. I loved cartoon, like Garfield and stuff and all this stuff. And I started going to a comic book shop like around 10, 11 years old is when I started getting Spider-Man. My dad brought me, I got Spider-Man, and then I was hooked from there on comic books. But I've always, since I was a kid, loved comic strips. Like I said, Garfield, Peanuts. Some of those old school Family Circus.
Yep.
And
I was a big Heathcliff fan.
Heathcliff. I mean, yeah, some of these, Beatles.
Beetle Bailey,
Beetle Bailey. I mean, a lot of these things. So I loved those. And then, like I said, as I got older, then I went to a comic book shop and saw Venom fighting Spider-Man, and I was like, what? And then you see Ghost Rider with a head, like a skull with a head on fire. What am I looking at? So all that stuff, just like Marvel sucked me in. Marvel got me. I got to see. I got to watch what I say. Sith is watching. He'll clip the hell out of me.
That's what he's here for.
I love that, man. That's a great cover. But yeah, I mean, seeing comic strips, of like Peanuts and
and
Heathcliff.
that's an art form. Being able to tell a story in 3 panels is hard.
Believe me, it's insane. Yeah.
And they have great collections out of some of those strips now too. I'm waiting for the new Conan collection to come out of the Conan run. But then they had Hagar the Horrible was always fun. And I don't know if you ever read it. Did you ever read the Grim one with the dog?
I don't know.
Grim was great.
I've got that entire Calvin and Hobbes collection.
Oh,
yeah,
I was about to say,
Calvin and Hobbes is a classic.
Yep, that's another one. Yeah. So, seeing that cartoon and then going and like picking up Spider-Man and Ghost Rider and, these awesome like Doctor Strange. Like Doctor Strange had some of the trippiest covers that were just so awesome. What's up, shop? But yeah, I mean, that's what kind of hooked me is, and then to be honest, 2003, I went to a con. I went to Wizard World in Philadelphia. I met Scotty Young. I met a bunch of different cool people. And then I moved to Florida, and then I really didn't have anyone that was into comics. So I kind of fell out of it for the longest time until 2018. I literally would go to my comic shop a couple times, just to but then out of nowhere, I don't know, 2018 sparked something, and I had to do, I think, is variants. Variants is what, I'm about to say it again. Variants is what got me back into collecting books. Oh gosh, I gotta watch
what's funny? I think I might have been at that same con with you in Philadelphia.
Really?
2003 or 2004. Do you remember if they sold a wedding Gonzo there as the exclusive that year?
I don't remember. Oh, maybe.
One of those 2
Um,
years I was there.
I met Jim Lee though. That was amazing. I told him to shut up by mistake.
That's what you get, Jim Lee.
Shut up! I'm watching Liefeld right now.
No, it was a big mistake. Like I honestly was watching a panel. Like, have you ever been to those artist panels where they pass a piece of paper and they all draw something on it to make one big thing, and then they sell it for charity? Well, they were waiting for him, and I'm in the back row, and a guy's on his phone, and I'm like, "Hey man, can you please shut up? We're trying to And it turns out it was freaking Jim Lee, and he felt so bad. He signed my program, and he was like, "Oh, sorry, man." I'm like, oh man. So then I stopped going to cons after that because Jim Lee put a restraining order. No, I'm just kidding. No, but yeah, it was, but that's the last time I went to a con. COVID sucks, man. It really put a damper on a bunch of my con. Like I wanted to go these last couple of years, but I haven't been able to. Hopefully MegaCon this year I'll meet Louie. Keep your fingers crossed.
Now, well, I agree, Free Energy. Great story. Now, since you've been in the comics, what's your favorite storyline from back in the day growing up, and what's your favorite current storyline going on? Give people a little bit of a taste of what you enjoy.
Man, okay, so all right, so back. Let me do my newest. I love Strange Academy. I can't get enough of that. That's like my favorite right now. I just it's a lot. It's just fun. It's just a fun read every week. I'm looking forward to it. But again, it's Scotty and Humberto Ramos. So
it's got the old Marvel magic. It's fun cover to cover. Yep,
exactly. Yep, I love it. Back in the day, oh my goodness, there was a small 6-part series of it was a Amazing Spider-Man crossover with Ghost Rider, and it was a Sinister Six small 6-part series that I remember growing up.
That was in the Spider-Man series. That was Eric Larson drawing that.
Yep, exactly, Eric Larson. Yep. So that was going, but to be honest though, I just read it again and I loved it. Was McFarlane's Hobgoblin little series on Spider-Man. The artwork is like, just it engages you, but the story of with that little kid and losing his mom, and then he's trying to be persuaded by Hobgoblin and stuff. I think that story was really cool, but the artwork is what sold me again. With it was that cape that Hobgoblin had was like Spawn. It was just the panels that they had for that was fantastic. So I'm gonna go with it's that little Hobgoblin series too. So that was pretty dope.
Yeah, you just cost me money, Roscoe, because I realized I didn't have that. It was issue 17 where he stopped, I think it was.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I need 2 through 16. So,
Dave. Yeah. So, but yeah, like I said, that McFarlane artwork with that. It's just classic. It was before Spawn, so it was like pre-Spawn, type of, but I got into that too, though. It was like the Image, because McFarlane sold me on Spider-Man, so of course I went over to Image.
Right.
But so.
And hey, they've gotten big enough where I don't consider them independent anymore. Even though people say they're indie, Image isn't indie anymore. Image is it should be the big 3 now, not the big 2.
You're 100% right, Gary. I totally agree with you on that. Absolutely, the stories that Image puts out are insane. They're phenomenal. I love Image. Image puts out some great stuff. I just recently read Murder Falcon. Shout out to Legion for telling me about that book after reading Beta Ray Bill by Daniel Warren Johnson and Mike Spicer. Oh my gosh, best Marvel series last year. Sorry, I know you probably.
That was a fun little mini series.
Yeah, that was my favorite Marvel tale last year. But Daniel Warren Johnson has become one of my favorites now. Like he's slowly like that artwork with Mike Spicer's like coloring, hands down is like. I just read Murder Falcon. That's Image, and that was fantastic. Fantastic book. I read it twice.
Right on time, Callie.
So let's go back to you being influenced by cartoons. So what did little Roscoe watch growing up that he absolutely had? Because you're old enough where you still had Saturday morning cartoons when you were a kid.
Oh.
Were you in front of that TV like the rest of us Saturday morning? Parents were asleep. You're already watching. You got your bowl of cereal.
Bringo. Yep, that's it, man. Exactly. With my cereal, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but I'm a big Cheerios, like plain, dry, not Honey Nut, regular Cheerios, and I would just munch on those like they were like a chip. Like I just got
right. They're delicious. I keep a box here, and I do the same thing.
Oh man, my homies give me so much guff because like I'm like my favorite cereal of all time is Cheerios, plain regular Cheerios, and they're like get out of here, you gotta go. Like
yeah, I might leave the stream too.
Oh no.
So
but
you're
number
a big
one
Turtles fan, huh?
Yep, Layla, that's my number one. That was the show I had to watch every single day, and it came out every day. Turtles came out. They had a new episode. That was what I think is phenomenal, is that they were able to put a new episode out every day. Not like where it's like weekly now for a lot of these stuff. I'm like, come on. But hey, what's up, Chris?
Hey.
But yeah, Turtles. I even have the whole Turtles set. Like I have every Turtles cartoon episode on DVD, and it's in a Turtle Van case.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yep. Yeah. Shout out. I got that. Gosh, how many years ago? Quite a few years ago. But now I still have it in box though. By the way, because you can watch everything digitally now. What up, Spec Paul, Brad? But yeah, you can watch everything digitally. So I kept it in box now, and that box is crazy money. Crazy money, man. I was like, what? I was like, no, it's crazy. But
yeah, it always kills me that DVDs can go up in value like that.
Oh, have you seen VHSs now? You can grade VHSs.
Right. Nuts.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure you can grade anything now. But yeah, I just saw that people are starting to grade VHSs. Star Wars? A Star Wars like a 9 point something just sold for I don't know how many, a couple $1,000s.
Oh,
and I'm
VHS.
Like,
well, an uncut version, the original Star Wars before George messed with it.
You can't throw anything out. You can't open anything. You just got to keep everything to the day you die.
Bringo. Yeah.
It's funny because I mostly do streaming stuff now when I buy. I don't buy a lot of new movies, physical media anymore. I just mostly buy. But I do my cartoons too. Like I have both Conan series at the cartoons. I have the old overseas Conan the Adventurer live action one with Ralph Moeller, which is cheesy as all hell but still fun. Then I got like Thundar the Barbarian. I got the old Fantastic Four. Just some of the old good Marvel stuff that's fun.
Oh yeah.
But sometimes it's just great to crack that disc and put it in there.
Yeah.
And what a lot of people don't realize too is if you have that old media, like I'm a big Scrubs fan. It's my favorite comedy show ever. Probably second would be Soap. I love Soap back in the day. But Scrubs, and what people don't realize is when a lot of these shows stream again, there's different music in them because they didn't know about streaming. So those old shows, some of the music, there's no streaming rights for them, so they have to replace the music when they stream them, so they don't play the same.
Hey, so speaking of movies, I have a question for you, Roscoe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, try my nuts to your fist time. Who's laughing now?
Oh, that is one of my hands down one of my favorite movies. It's called Kung Pao Enter the Fist, and I love that movie. I actually had that movie on VHS.
Yeah, me too. But from now on, Gary requested.
Gentlemen, from this day forward, you will all refer to me by the name Betty.
But this is one of those movies that if you have not seen it, it's like the most ridiculous thing to watch. But out of 500 lines in that movie, 499 of them are quotable.
Yes, absolutely.
So in getting to know Roscoe, we found this love of this movie, and it just cracks us up every single time.
Oh man, that's a lot of nuts. Oh my gosh, yo.
And it's called Kung Pao what?
Enter the Fist.
Oh, Enter the Fist. Okay. I had never actually seen that one. I'm gonna have to watch it.
You may
I've
have
seen most of the
to
funny
search for VHS in that one.
It is it's very, just to let you know, it's ridiculous. It is like nonsense to the max, but it's just a good belly laugh because it like I love the way the movie opens up is one of the best. Okay, bye. Yo, remember that, Nick? Oh gosh, yeah, definitely.
Don't want to spoil it for everybody. You guys just go watch it. It was a good one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but you need movies like that, just insane comedy where it's just there to laugh, you know.
It shuts your mind off. It shuts your mind off, man, and that's what you need sometimes. Because I mean, honestly, this world gets a little too crazy. Things in life get a little too crazy. So you need something that is not going to make you think, and that is a movie that will not make that. You're just like, what am I watching? But yeah, definitely turns your mind off.
Nothing wrong with that. So you're a big comedy guy. Are you a
Yes.
Usually though, what's funny is guys that are big into comedy are also big into horror. Do you cross over into horror at all or not really?
I mean, I watch it. Yeah. I mean, I'm not like a hardcore like horror fan. I'm like comedy all day. Comedy is my I prefer comedy over everything. But I mean, some horror is good. I mean, I don't get me wrong, but some stuff, man, it's freaky, man. I try to watch them but some stuff like I know people are like big horror fans, but sometimes it just gets a little too much. Like too much gore.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil is one of the funniest horror movies you'll ever watch.
Yes,
I've watched it at least 5-6 times. I don't know if you've ever seen it, Roscoe.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my God. It's and the reason I was asking you the other question too is you seem like a guy that would be a Bruce Campbell Evil Dead fan.
I love cheesy. Cheesy stuff is awesome. But Bruce Campbell, I feel like he's definitely he's not bad. I mean, but I love cheesy stuff. Like, I mean, it's stuff that makes you laugh is great. But yeah, Bruce Campbell is. He's definitely a character, that's for sure.
So you don't only like comics, you're also a big sports guy.
Oh yeah.
All right. So yep, plus you're a Devils fan like myself, so that automatically makes you good people. Now you collect cards as well, plus you're on Sis Card Show. Tell us a little bit about your card collecting and what other things that Roscoe may collect outside of comics and cards.
Well, I just recently kind of got back into cards the last couple of years, but when I was younger, I collected more cards than I did comic books, to be honest with you. But now I love comics a little bit more than cards. Now the thing is that I actually just opened up an NBA pack, and I got like not some bad stuff, a couple good cards, which is really good. But I've pulled like one time here. I got it right here next to me. To be honest with you, I'm ready for your show, man. Tua. I got a rookie on card or rookie auto. I got a graded too, and those jerks over at PSA gave me a 7, not a 10, but it's all good. Yeah, I just, like I said, I'm a big sports nuts. I love football, hockey, basketball. Honestly, I can watch everything.
That's a lot of nuts.
But yeah, I mean, I can even watch. I know you said you're a tennis fan, right, Gary?
Yes.
See, I like tennis too. I think tennis is very cool, very cool sport.
And I played tennis for over 20 years.
That's awesome. One of the toughest sports, in my opinion.
Oh, dude, especially for a fat guy like me, it's insane. I'll stick to ping pong. No.
The thing I loved about playing tennis, I played it for so long, is it's the angles, man. Because, I was always playing, because I'm a short guy, so I was always playing tall people. The one buddy who taught me how to play tennis, he's 6'4" and a little bit more.
Ooh.
So I learned angles. So no matter what he did, I learned how to pass him at the net.
Okay.
So, and you get those angles down. In the first couple of years, he beat up on me. And then we went for like a 5-6 year stretch where he didn't even get a game off me.
Oh.
Like, because I was that competitive with it. I got into it that much. I was out there to beat him.
You like went out there, you hired a kid to be your ball boy and stuff? No.
No, well, that was the thing is him and I were dedicated. We both love tennis. So we were the guys out there. It's 6:30 in the morning and the sun just cracked. And it doesn't matter if it was spring and it was still 30 degrees out. Him and I are out there in our t-shirt and shorts and we're playing tennis because, it's daylight now. We can see it. It's like we're freezing. We'll warm up in 20 minutes after we're running.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Growing up in Jersey, it was the same. I loved playing sports. So I'd be at the hockey rink. I'd be down at the courts. I'd be, you know what I mean? I was always ready to play. I was always down to play sports. So I know what you mean though. As soon as that daylight hit, especially in the summertime when I wasn't in school, man, I'm out there playing. Nowadays it's crazy because it's like, I don't see too many kids outside enjoying sports and stuff, but I used to love it. Wiffle ball was one of my favorite things to do.
We used to play everything, man. We grew up around basketball courts, so we'd play that every day.
Yep.
We'd play softball, just whatever there was to play, we were playing.
Oh yeah, I remember your parents or your guardians or whoever would be like, "All right, you got to come in," and you're like, "Oh, 5 more minutes," and then 10 minutes later, "All right, 5 more minutes." Oh, get out of here! Get that guy out of here!
Right? I was like, he's got to be trolling you, Patrick Waugh.
Oh yeah, he's the Uncanny's on the card show, and me and him go back and forth on Patrick Waugh and Brodeur. So,
it's Brodeur all day, every day.
Exactly. So,
and he's got all the records. It's even factual, so it's not even up for debate.
Oh yeah, but I did wear 33 because of Patrick Ewing, though. That's my dude.
Patrick Ewing.
Yes. But what else do I collect? I like Funko Pops, as you can see up here. I have like a Wayne's World, Batman fighting. This is actually the one that's up there is a special edition. It's the the Game On,
right?
Car. Yeah, that's that one. But yeah, Funko Pops. That's to be honest with you, I collect some weird stuff. I was on Simple Simon's one time and he asked me to bring on stuff to show. So he's like, "Hey, bring something that people haven't seen." So I'm like, "All right." So I brought I have an old gumball machine. That was my great grandfather's. He used to work as a candy replacer, where they'd have to take the old machine and put the new one on with the new candy, and they'd switch them out. Yeah, so I actually have one from back then. If you can see right here, right over my shoulder, right here, this is a 1930s RCA radio.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
right below the "Something's Killing the Turtles."
Oh yeah. Shout out Austin LeMay. And then, but yeah, I mean, if I can find something that's bizarre, I like weird stuff, man. And if I can get it for a good amount, then it's probably going to be in my collection. But most of what I have is got to be, comics. I can build a house out of comics and Funko Pops. So those are the two things that are mostly in my collection now.
I'd like to see you get one of those Funko Pops where you paint it yourself and see what you make with that.
Ooh,
have you thought about doing that?
Okay, so that's funny you said that because I've thought of I like other vinyl toys. Kid Robot is a company that makes a lot of plain ones where you can do your own design. So I have thought about that a couple times, but I just haven't pulled the trigger. So that would be really cool.
Yeah, like the Bear Bricks, something like that.
Yeah. The Bear Bricks, and there's also I think it's called Shmoney
as a pop.
What is it? What'd you say?
You could do You Dress Like Tina as a pop.
Oh yeah, I'm actually, I was talking to my buddy neighbor to the north, and he was telling me, he's like, "Bro, next time you go to a con, you have to cosplay that. And I was like, I think I will.
Right.
So, I mean, all I got to do
Not
is,
to.
yeah, all I got to do is put on a wig, which I've done already on Spinetix. If you've watched, I've been Rosko from Moscow. And so all I need is now is a black wig, and then I can just, I got a baby blue shirt. I can pull it off.
Okay,
I gotta start being able to stay up later to watch some of this stuff. I feel bad because like the Nerdy Collective show, Spinetix, I'm always like passed out asleep.
Oh, I don't blame you. Yeah. Well, it's the East Coast too, so it's funny. I mean, I don't blame you because like we're going on at 11, and then I'm usually wrapping up the show with the guys. I mean, because we go backstage after the show. The show will be 5-6 hours, right? Then we're backstage, usually another maybe 2 hours. So it's like, you know, here I am. I'm like, all right, I'm going to bed at 7-8 o'clock in the morning.
That's where the magic happens, Joe. But what I want to ask you also too, and one of the things that endears me to you is like we all go places, we have our own little fan club, but there's one particular fan that I have in mind that follows you everywhere you go.
Yeah, she's amazing. Absolutely incredible.
It's Cindy Ruskowski.
Yep.
Right.
Mama Rosko. Yep.
So what I want to ask you too, does she ever like what's her favorite show to watch you on, or does she give you like critiques, or is she just watching you there, just being a good mama?
She wants me to be on a lot more so she can see me a lot more on like different shows. Like she's like, but she loves Between the Lines. She goes, you got to do Between the Lines. Get that done. Okay. You know? So I'm like, okay. You know, but she loves Between the Lines. But I mean, anything that I'm on, you know, she's just my number one fan. She's amazing. You know, single parent growing up, raising this goofy guy, this ham. So shout out to her, but she's my biggest fan. She's absolutely incredible. I wouldn't be anywhere without her. So she's amazing. But yeah, she supports the hell out of me. Shout out. I love you, Ma. Thank you so much for all that you do. But yeah, she definitely critiques me sometimes, but she'll always be like, oh, you did real good. You did real good. I loved it. You know? So it's like, you know, it's that mom, you know, I could have been like, I could have looked like a weirdo and she'd have been like, I loved it. Oh my God, you were so good on it. You know? So,
shout out to Miss Cindy. We love you, Miss Cindy.
Absolutely. Mama Roscoe, love you, Ma. You're the best.
You're
But yeah, I could
so
have what? Oh, that's how I feel. Please stop me. Oh man. But yeah, she's awesome though. So she's actually, to be honest, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
You're
Mary.
good.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
But she actually is the person who she gave me my first comic book. My mom. She actually, well, I got it from a doctor's office.
You got to tell this story, Roscoe.
Yeah, let's hear it, Roscoe. Let it out.
All right, so I was in a doctor's office and I was reading a book, and it was a comic book, and so what happened was I was like, oh man, I really like this book. It was Captain America versus the Asthma Monster. It's a PSA book, like, you know, it was like
I love those.
Roscoe's got a few PSAs.
Because they have like Spider-Man smoke screen where he's teaching the kids not to smoke and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, this one is like make sure you go like get your checkups, but it was like it was a company. I can't believe I put it somewhere. No, I can't
American
find it.
Lung Association.
No, it was like for a medicine. I think it was like a medicine for an inhaler. To be honest, I think it was called a Coenex or something. I can't remember, but I was like, oh, I really want this. And my mom's like, just keep it. It's okay. So I've kept that book my entire life. So I've had that book for over 30 years. And it's been through everywhere with me. It's like always like make sure that's the thing I have when I move or something. I got to make sure I have that book because it just means the world to me. But it's such a goofy book. It's so cheesy because it's like Asthma Monster. Like what the? So, but yeah, I do like as Nick said, I do like the PSA books. That's for sure. I am going to be doing I'm going to be doing a video on a PSA book that I had mentioned recently. So keep a lookout on that on my channel. It's going to be, if you think that Thanos is a villain or Galactus is like the person that you should be fearing, I got a villain that you're definitely going to be scared of. So
the first appearance of the Peter Tingle.
that is correct. That is correct. Yes, Mr. Westcott. Yeah. Don't Don't go to his house.
Yep. You
Now,
don't
see,
want.
I'm with you though. I love those odd comics. Like I collect a bunch of the PSA ones. I have like a 7-Eleven book that has Spider-Woman, Spider-Man, Captain America, and the Hulk in it. I got and McFarlane, being a McFarlane fan that you are, he did a couple of the covers for like Smokescreen. So there's one with a hockey
Skating on ice
cover and Bolian. Yes.
Yeah, Skating on Thin Ice. I have that one.
I have it here too. Yep.
Yeah, the kid's wearing an Edmonton Oilers jersey.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, I love that one. I have like a Keebler elf, like don't do drugs, like stay off drugs. I have one that I'm actually looking to get. It's a Captain America off drugs, but like the PSA is for the FBI. I was like,
wow.
what? Like, yeah. So there's some like wild ones out there. I have like Pizza Hut ones. Taco Bell. So there's so many different places that's put out books that are just like people have no idea, and a lot of these books I guarantee you have been crazy damaged because I remember the Pizza Hut books. You get a pan pizza and then they give you the book and then you'd be like, yeah, and you're just like
ass fingers and
yeah, and you're like, check, look at this, and you're like ripping it open to show like your mom, and then it's like the page rips, and you're like, oh well, so
Breadstick on it.
yeah, right. Yeah, so you do whack hacks when you're a kid. You didn't even know it.
Whacker in training.
Yeah, right. I want. Oh, huh?
Yeah, there's been a lot of questionable comments tonight, so we'll try to tone it down.
Yeah. I gotta...
Oh, here we go. Evil. I have my Dare book with Gruff the Crime Dog.
That is amazing. Yeah, that I definitely want a Dare book. That's for sure.
And Callie's asking if you have the Green Arrow Green Lantern one. I never even heard of that one.
That's the one with the drugs.
Speedy on heroin. Yeah.
Yep. Bingo. Yeah. I do not have that one because that book actually goes for a lot
that's
more.
not the PSA one. That's like the Speedy one, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I know. Okay, I know which one you're talking about. I thought it was a different one, like a PSA promotional one.
If anyone's really looking for PSA books, the best place to find PSA books is a flea market. Because people see and they're like, what? This is a Taco Bell book? And it's just like, all right, because that's where I got like a lot of mine was like a flea market. And the guy's like, I don't know, 50 cents. And I'm like, all right, deal.
Right? And they're so campy and they're so cheesy, but there's something so endearing about them at the same time.
Absolutely.
Like they got a charm to them.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, I love all that stuff. For example, there's a book that I had. I don't know if I could ever find it. I don't if it's hidden somewhere. But combos. You remember the snack food combos?
Yeah, the combo man.
Combo Man is one of the craziest looking characters I've ever seen in my entire life. He is has a Hulk's like forehead and Cyclops' eyes, and you know what I mean. Like it's like all these different pieces of different Marvel characters and now that book I think is like a $40 book, and it's like the size it's like this big. It's literally like it's like this big, and it's like
it just recently spiked up like in the past 4 or 5 months with the whole multiverse thing. This is like all the characters in one. They started to spec on that.
Oh gosh, there's spec on everything, man.
Right.
But
now, are you a fan of all the movies and TV shows and stuff too, Roscoe? Do you eat that up, or are you just mostly in just the books?
Oh no, I love. I'm a Peacemaker. I've never read a Peacemaker book, but the show, fantastic, absolutely. That's another show or something you can watch and turn your brain off. I mean, it's just it's one of those.
Some of the dialogue in it is so insane. You're just rolling. Like some of the aside conversations, and it's funny because you have weird ass conversations like that in real life where you and your buddy will go off on a tangent that makes absolutely no sense to anyone that would walk in on it.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right.
And then it would do that, and then have like this really heartfelt moment. Like probably one of the best moments in that show was in the final episode with Diebeard with Eponymous.
Oh, yeah.
I mean that story when he was telling it.
It tugs at your heartstrings, man.
And it paid off through all those jokes that they kept telling for 7 episodes, and it paid off in that moment right there. And you're like, that's just brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that show. But yeah, I'm a big. I liked all the movies. I mean, I shouldn't say all of them. There's been some that haven't been that great, but like Eternal. was okay. Eternals was okay. You know, it wasn't
I
like.
like that one a lot, actually.
See, I thought it was okay.
Yeah,
I felt like
the Venoms.
I have not seen the second one yet. The first one was all right. You
The
know,
first one was all right. The second one, I had a hard time even getting through it. But I sat through it because I paid for it at the theater.
Oh well, yeah, definitely can't walk out on that. You just spent $30 going to see this movie. You're like, oh well, I'm here. No.
I didn't want to rent it, so I ended up buying it for home. I'm like,
Oh wow. Hmm.
The things you do for your kids, damn it.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I mean, I like a lot of shows. I like a lot of movies. But I'm excited for like more of the indie side of now of like some of these. You know. Oh yeah, I want to see like more of like Nice House on the Lake. I can't wait to if that becomes a show, that would be dope. I know it hasn't ended yet, but as of right now, Something is Killing the Children. I'm a big Something is Killing the Children fan. I know a lot of people are like, meh, meh, meh. But I think it's really cool, and I think that they can make that show into something creepy. So I don't know, but like I said, I'm all in on a lot of these movies and shows, mostly Marvel. But DC recently has. Oh yes,
Archive 81 was phenomenal.
Yeah,
yes.
And there's a guy on YouTube. His name is Max Washington Songs. I've been following him a while. Super nice guy, super supportive of anyone who's following him. His brother's on that show.
Really?
Oh, so you know the guy's the main character, his best friend that runs the podcast.
Oh yeah.
That's his brother.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Right, because I was just talking to him the other day. He goes, "Oh, that's my brother's show." I'm like, "What?"
Imagine
because that's a show I started watching, and then I was binging it. I'm like, I got to see it.
Oh yeah, definitely. That was a good one. There was only one thing that was kind of cheesy to me in that whole thing. It was when in the screen that character, the creature.
Right.
I felt like that was just a little cheesy for me, but everything weighed out more. Like it was just way better. So
and just the coming together of that first of all, the main character, that guy was great. That was doing the film, and then the girl from the past, and just the whole build up to them meeting, and
that transition,
so well paced and so well written.
Yeah, I could have did without this camera angle all the time.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they would keep on his face for like 10 minutes. I don't need to see that.
Yeah, I could. I thought it was really good though. Overall, I thought it was a good show. But
so, what character that you haven't seen on screen yet would you like to see?
Oh man, that's a great question. What character haven't I seen? You mean like live action, or has never been on screen?
Never been on screen, and in your choice, live action or animated.
Oh man.
Or animated in a live action movie.
Well, okay, so I'm a big Chippendales Rescue Rangers, so that movie's coming out here shortly. So I cannot wait to see my man Monterey Jack, like in a CGI'd. But one movie that I think would be freaking amazing if they did it live action would be Gargoyles. Like I said, I'm a big cartoon guy.
Yeah, good call.
I think Gargoyles would be a dope movie. I mean, even the music to it, like bum 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 bum. I mean, it's all intense. It can make it dark. You know what I mean? It's I think that is something I really want to see on screen is Gargoyles.
Right, it could have some real atmosphere to it.
Oh, absolutely.
So since we've hit on 2 of the 3 M's, let's hit on the third M, and you brought it just a little bit there. Music.
Ooh.
All right. People know you in the community. You're a pretty good beatboxer. You and I have the Dave Matthews thing in common.
Oh yeah.
But and it really depends on mood. But what stays on Roscoe's playlist?
Okay, so all right, so something I have been honestly listening to constantly. I'm a big 80s kind of guy. Like I love like 80s music. and like dance, type of. But Tory Lanez just put an album out, and I have been hooked on these songs, man. So that album I've been hooked on, but I'm a big Post Malone guy. I feel he's different. But I like everything, man. I'm a big hip hop. I like hip hop, R&B. The Weeknd is, old Weeknd is amazing. Shout out my man Cole. He's got some dope Weeknd vinyls, but the Weeknd is some old Weeknd. But Post Malone, man, let me tell you, he's got this like, I don't know, he's got this weird like singing like R&B like weird sound to him where he can play guitar and all these different instruments and stuff. I think he's very talented, but I like Post Malone a lot. But Tory Lanez I've been listening to a ton right now. I can't stop listening to that. But and then I'm going to shout out my boy. I know he's not here, but Ryan Loria is a buddy of mine. He kind of has this Drake sound. I like Drake as well, but he sounds like Drake, and I listen to him quite a bit too. So shout out my man Ryan Loria, good guy as well. But oh gosh, but if you're listening, if you turn my radio on, like in my car, there's only two stations it's really on. It's either on classic rock, or it's on R&B hip hop. Those are the two. So, but I do love Dave Matthews Band. I've seen that, I don't know, 15 times in concert. I love them. He's amazing. So shout out. I love Dave Matthews live albums. If anyone just listened to Dave Matthews like the regular album and you're like, man, he's okay, listen to a live album and then talk to me. And then we'll have a conversation, because the instruments that they use on live, it's unbelievable. So
yep. Him and Tim Reynolds.
Oh gosh.
At Luther College or at Radio City.
Yep. Vegas. Yep. Oh man. Heck yeah. Red Rock. Oh man. They're amazing. They're both. I love that though. I would love that. That's like my ultimate experience would be like a small venue, and it's just Dave and Tim just riffing and just singing and just having a good old time, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. It really does make a difference where they play.
Yeah,
like I've seen him at Camden, it just blew my mind. And I've seen him here in Dallas, and you really can't compare the show. Like places like the Gorge or Alpine, stuff like that. He'll save for those special venues. So definitely go see him in one of those spots.
Yeah, I watch in West Palm. Now, in Florida, it rains quite a bit. Mm-hmm. But a lot of shows, which is, I don't know, it's so bizarre, but a lot of shows, my homies, if they're in the chat, like Jimmy or Chunk, if they're here, there's always been like a thunderstorm and lightning, like off in the distance. So it's behind the stage. And let me tell you, I don't know if I feel like for some reason, it just always is like every time I went, there was always like some kind of like, it's a light show. First off, his show is first off, it's a crazy light show, but then you have like it's amazing. This guy.
Yeah, I always take that guy seriously. He's always into, his family genealogy or the special military stuff. He's bringing up with these nuts,
right?
The beanbag crew.
He's a Renaissance man, that guy.
Now, my music question for you, since you're a cartoon guy, what's your favorite cartoon theme song of all time?
Darkwing Duck.
Ah.
Unequivocally.
Let's get dangerous. Yeah. I just I don't know. It's an upbeat, just but Rescue Rangers, Chip and Dale, like the beginning of that song, that dun 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 dun, 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 like that's a jam too. So Gargoyles.
The third radio station on in your car.
Yeah, right. Yeah, cartoon theme songs. I wish, what? That would be genius. Like, just have a whole like playlist of you can have stuff like Who's the Boss? Oh yeah, DuckTales is great. Remember, like, Who's the Boss? Like, there's a time for love and a time for pain. You know what I mean? Like, how can you not love like these theme songs? There should be like a whole radio station dedicated to every theme song. You know what I mean?
Greatest American Hero, Three's Company.
Company too.
Yeah, I mean,
Or
so
Scrubs. I'm no Superman.
oh yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah, and then my favorite show. I know you said you're a Scrubs fan, but hands down, the best show of all time. I'm sorry, bro, is The Office, American version of The Office. I love that show. I think I've seen all 9 seasons. Gosh, I don't know, 15 to 17 times.
See, I'm like that with Scrubs. I own all 8. I own all the seasons of Scrubs, and I can always put it on, and it's the one show I can always get a good belly laugh out of, just when you need that belly laugh. But it was another show that was so brilliantly written, because when they had the emotional beats, they really landed.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Like, especially when Brendan Fraser was on and his character passed, and I mean, that was just incredible.
How about when Michael J. Fox was on there too? I loved that. That was amazing. Yeah, I loved Scrubs. Scrubs was really good. I think when it got like to the Franco time though, he kind of lost me. I was like, but yeah, the friendship between Donald Faison and Zach Braff, even in real life, is amazing.
It is, and they still have their podcast going too, which is
But hey, Gary, I know you have the DVDs, but how amazing are the extras, the outtakes, the extra footage? I mean, that's the
whole reason to own the DVDs, is for all the extras, and not only that, but for the commentaries.
Yep.
So the reason I buy like some of the media physically is I am a special features whore. I love special features. No matter what I buy, I will sit there and listen to the commentary. I will watch every special feature. I will go through all of that. You know, I bought the Thing special edition just so I can listen to the commentary of the Thing, because it's just the best movie. But I love the commentaries.
Oh yeah, I love especially extra.
Just how the outtakes sometimes, how many times it takes them to nail a scene, and
that's some of my favorite.
And when they break character in a scene and they start laughing, and you're laughing because they're laughing, and you know you weren't there, but it's still hilarious just to see them not be able to keep a straight face.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, I love it. That's the thing. I that's the thing that streaming is missing though, is like outtakes and stuff, because like see, I love Step Brothers, with Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly.
Right.
Two amazing. We become friends. Did we just become best friends?
Yeah. Yep. It's okay. It's okay. It's not movie quality.
Yeah.
I don't know why I love that line too.
Oh yeah, but check out there's a whole separate disc that comes with that DVD, and it's all extras and stuff they couldn't put in the movie, because a lot of that movie, I don't know if you know, but like I think they said 85 to 90% of that movie is all ad lib, all improv.
Mm-hmm.
Because I saw an interview with the dad, the guy who plays the dad, who wants to be a dinosaur when he grows up. You can't be that, Dad. It's physically impossible. But yeah, he was like, he goes, working with John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell. He's like, you have to, everything is pretty much improv. And he goes, like, the whole script is like, they give you what it is, but go with what you want to, is like what they say. So whatever feels comfortable and whatever flows. And a lot of times they redo a lot of scenes. So check out, if you haven't, the extra credit stuff for the extra scenes and stuff like.
I think I did a long time ago, but I don't remember it anymore. I remember one of the best ad-libbing ones was the extra features on 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Oh God, yes.
When they were you're getting all the different lines they were doing.
When he's like, "Oh, Kelly Clarkson," like he's getting his like hair ripped off. There was other stuff that he said. Yeah,
he did that for real too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he really did do that.
And poor Mike brings up a good one, because before all of the extra stuff on DVD, they had like while it was credits rolling, like through the Cannonball Run.
Oh yeah,
some of the other ones. Those are just fantastic.
And even the Jackie Chan ones in his movies, when he's doing the stunts and you're seeing all the mess ups when he's doing the stunts.
Oh yeah.
Jackie, okay, yeah, Jackie be okay, and he's limping. He's trying to walk away from the stunt he just failed.
What was it? What was it? Bronx.
Rumble in the Bronx.
Rumble in the Bronx. Remember, he broke his ankle.
Yeah, I have that on too. Yeah.
Jumping into the airboat, and then he actually had a cast that made it look like he was wearing a shoe. So he actually still did his stunts in his freaking like ankle cast, and I was like, "Who the hell is this guy?" Like, but my mom just put a Murderville. That's a new show with Will Arnett.
Oh,
You know, that's all improv. Like Will Arnett knows the script, but the person that comes on doesn't. And they had like, oh my gosh, Marshawn Lynch was hilarious. I did not expect that man to be as funny as he was, but I love improv. I'm a big improv guy. Like, whose line is it anyway? I will cry laughing at some of what these guys do. Like, it's amazing. So.
Now, are you an impressions guy? Do you like impressions?
Like what? I'm sorry?
Like impressions? Like one of the things I love is like Kevin Pollak. Like I can watch him do Christopher Walken any day of the week and just belly laugh.
Oh yeah. Some of these people that do and it's incredible. Like people tell me a lot to do. Like sometimes when I laugh like Seth Rogen. To be like, and so like people tell me that, but I love impressions though. Like what's his name? He does like Jay-Z and Denzel Washington.
Jay Farrell?
Jay Farrell, yep. Yeah, he's excellent, man. But yeah, I do like impressionists though. They're some of these people can knock these out of the park.
Right, and then you try to home, you're like, wow, that's hard. Like I don't know, just to catch the mannerisms too, because there's more to impressions than just doing a voice.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, because there's a certain way that your mouth, like, because if you ever notice that people say, oh, they can hear you when you're smiling, like when you talk on the phone, like, so there is a way that your mouth should be when you're trying to imitate the person. So I 100% agree with that.
All right. So now we've been going for almost an hour and 10. We're going to start wrapping it up, but I got to know, we need to know Roscoe's guilty pleasure movie, TV show, and music. What are your 3 guilty pleasures in those mediums?
Oh man, my guilty pleasure.
Yeah, like what are you singing to yourself that you don't want people to hear you singing? What are you watching when you just need that comfort?
Okay. So I told you I like 80s like dance stuff. So like, oh man. So anything like I'm trying to think off the top of my head, but it's like one of those like high pitched like female singing, like where I'll be like, and I'll sing along with it. Like I can't even think. I'm blanking
new
right
shoes,
now.
Like do.
Oh yeah, new shoes. Yep. Yep. Yeah, like I'll be like and I'll be like high pitched, sound like a weirdo, and so yeah.
Rock
but I don't.
Animotion.
Yeah.
Is that called falsetto? I think it's called.
Yeah, I can't wait, but I sing like
I just have to hear that song, and that song will be stuck in my head for a month.
Yeah, so I love, like I said, the 80s like hair band, some of like the like the high pitched stuff. You can catch me singing that weird stuff. But I also opera is something that so I love singing it. Listening to it, it's okay, but singing it is way different. Making up my own words to sound like a cool opera singer in the shower is amazing. But yeah, so TV show. I just watched something that I really didn't want a lot of people to know I watched, but it's really like a female show. Well, I think anyway. I mean, it could be, but it was on Netflix. It was
my wife loved that show.
Yeah, see, it's called You.
I have not watched that.
It's like it's kind of like Dexter in a way.
I'll say that's the soccer one, right?
Yeah. So I watched that whole thing. I didn't want people to know that, but anyway.
You know what show I loved on Netflix? Love. That show was great. Did you ever watch it? With Jillian Robert, or what's her name? Jillian. Oh, I don't know. It's really good, but
Say hi to Pocan Joe.
Yeah, Pocan, my man.
What's up, Joe?
And what was the last thing? I'm sorry, what was the other thing? What am I?
Oh, and your guilty pleasure movie.
I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty open like about everything I watch, but like I mean, except for you, I didn't want anyone to
There's a whole movie based on that.
Yeah, that's a whole scene and a half, and they've done that. That's like half the movie. No, I don't know. Gosh, guilty pleasure movie. I don't know. I mean, because I said I watch cartoons, you know, and I'm a 30-year-old man watching cartoons. So
we're in the comic community. We all watch cartoons.
Yeah. So, what's something that I mean? To be honest with you, a great cartoon movie that it's still pretty cool is the Care Bears movie. And if I know a lot of people, if you say, "Oh, Care Bears," you're like, "What?" But if you watch that movie with that dark villain creature thing that's in it, like, you know, it's pretty creepy. But I don't know. I guess Care Bears. I don't know. It sounds weird to say now.
No, actually, the Care Bears, when they redid it and it came out with the show, it wasn't too bad.
Okay.
Like, the one that came out like 10 years ago, the new Care Bears show.
I don't know if I saw
was
that
guilty.
one.
I was guilty pleasure watching that. Going, this is pretty fun.
Yeah,
but,
I'm just trying to think. I don't think there's anything. I mean, you got me on the spot here.
Well, that's okay.
But yeah, I mean, I haven't seen Care Bears in quite a few years though, so maybe I got to watch that.
Who's your favorite Care Bear?
Oh, it's shoot, what's what's the mean one? The cloudy guy.
Mean one.
The one that's always a jerk. He has the cloud on him.
I know who you're talking about, but I can't think. He's saying Lionheart, but I don't think. Oh, mine is on. Oh, they're talking about movies. Okay, Grumpy Bear. Huh?
Is it Grumpy
Bear? Is it Grumpy? Is it that
simple? Yeah, Grumpy Bear. Yep, Grumpy Bear. Yep, bingo. Thank you, bro.
Well, it's funny because they named Care Bears and Smurfs the same, right? You had Grumpy Smurf, Grumpy Bear.
Yeah, but I like Grumpy Bear because he was always just like he was real mellow, even though he was always like but his color was really cool. He had my favorite Care Bear was Lionheart. Lionheart's really cool too. You know, he's like the leader of the pack. You know, he's like the John Travolta of the Care Bears. No. But yeah, I'm gonna go. I just because I like the blue guy.
See, now I'm a sucker for anything underwater, so I used to love the snorkels back in the day too.
Oh, okay, yeah, nice. Remember in comic books the sea monkey ads?
Yeah.
Brian Shrimp.
Gosh.
Let's see what Bill's trolling you about. After watching the Care Bears movie, Roscoe couldn't sleep till he had his favorite blankie and his stuffed My Little Pony.
Hey man, you're not supposed to tell anyone that. Man, yeah, I would. Yeah, I guess Grumpy Bear. Yeah, but Lionheart was definitely an OG though. But I feel like that's everyone's favorite.
No, you know what? Grumpy was my favorite too.
Oh, right on, Kerry.
Yeah, I think it was just the blue too. But he was like,
yeah, the blue too. That's what attracted me. Yeah, I think the blue kind of matched like the Smurfs blue though too.
Right. They had a plan.
Yeah, right.
So, Nick, you have any last questions for Roscoe, sir?
Yeah, I think being the artist that he is, if you could have yourself drawn into any one panel in any comic book in any time period, what would it be and why?
Oh man, what a great question. Oh gosh. Now, do I have superpowers, or am I like on the street, like as like a bystander, going, "What the hell's going on?" Like kind of like that.
You have complete carte blanche.
Ooh, okay. Then you're gonna see me. I'm gonna fight Juggernaut. You would see me fighting Juggernaut. I think that would be because I'm such a big fan of Colossus and Juggernaut battles. But I would probably you'd see me fight Juggernaut. I think that would be an epic battle scene, me versus Juggernaut.
Would you win?
I think it would be like I don't know if you know X-Men, Uncanny X-Men issue. It's in the 300s, but it's a bar fight between Colossus and Juggernaut, and Juggernaut's not in his
He doesn't have
costume.
the Skitterak on.
Yeah, he's but it's just a big bar fight between them both, and they smash this whole bar down. It's one of the best X-Men books in my opinion, but they fight this entire time, and then the whole bar just collapses, and then they kind of just go, all right, that was a great fight, and then they go their separate ways. And I thought that was always cool, but I feel like that would be like, I think we just get tired and be like, all right, great, good fight, man. And then I trick them, and then I get them, and then I win.
You know, the She-Hulk just had that kind of fight in her new issue 1 with Titania, which was fantastic.
Pretty good.
Let me tell you something. I highly, highly love that book. I didn't think I was going to like that book, but I got it because, I mean, there were some epic covers.
Oh, yeah.
But I got it anyway, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to read this. I was so happy that I read that book because, like you said, I mean, great
the whole
fight.
Conversation with those two was incredible.
Yep. And then who shows up at the end blew my mind too. Like I'm not going to spoil it for anyone, but I was like, and it's funny, that guy that shows up at the end. I just recently learned about him, and I thought that was so bizarre that he ended up being at the end of this book that I just randomly was like, I'm going to start. It's a number 1. I like She-Hulk. So yeah, I did enjoy that book a lot, Gary.
Yeah, loved it because I just read the whole Savage run, her first run this year. I just read it.
Nice. Yo, one of my favorite characters, Elephant Man. Elephant Man.
Sith says you like She-Bulk.
I do love She-Bulk. If anyone knows who She-Bulk is, it's the new Avengers run that's happening right now, where she becomes like the winner She-Hulk. It's kind of like a thing.
Yep.
Where, yeah, so I thought she was dope. I was a big fan of her.
The World War She-Hulk.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, the red with the blonde hair.
I thought that was the Inedible Bulk's cousin.
Well, let me tell you something. She can fight me any day. No, but yeah, I definitely like the She-Hulk. But yeah, Elephant Man in issue number 17 of Savage She-Hulk, Gary?
I think so. I could pull it out. I can't remember, but yeah, that was such a weird fight in that comic too. It was just so odd.
I have Elephant Man. Does he?
And he had her on the ropes for a while too.
Yeah. Elephant Man was definitely a character that I'm actually. I don't have that book, but I want that.
It was great too, and Mike Bosberg did such great art in that series.
Oh yeah,
like no one talks about him when they're talking about artists, and I thought Mike Bosberg was a really underappreciated artist.
Man, there's a lot. There's so many artists that are, it's wild. It's unbelievable. Like there's some people that people have no idea. Like some of these, and it's like, oh, I love that book. Well, what about the artist? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and it's like, yeah. So some artists don't get a lot of love because you don't see them on too many bigger books.
Right.
Everybody wants the John Romita, or these guys that are just OG, triple OG. So
there were some of these journeyman artists that were like Pat Broderick, Frank Springer. They were just doing all the book. They were in all the books all the time, doing solid work.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, I actually do have Savage She-Hulk issue number 1. I'm very happy to have that in my PC. So
hold on to it for a little longer.
Yeah, it's definitely a book I want to get graded.
Mine's about a 6.
Okay,
but I'm not going to say it's. But I also bought the True Believers of it too, so I can just read that and not mess that one up anymore.
Nice.
That was one of the ones I bought when I first got back in.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, same. I bought that too, and it was like I think it's like a 9.0. And I think I bought it for like $10 or $12. And at the time when I was coming in, I was like, I didn't want to spend that kind of money Like to me, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get all new comic book days. So I have a lot more modern in my collection. But then I started branching and buying other stuff. Then the market started just blowing up in 2019, 2020 when the COVID first hit. That's like I felt like all the books just jumped up 3 like marks like out of nowhere. Like so, like I have Ultimate Fallout #4, but I have the second print. And I have it signed by Clayton Crane. And but when I got that book for I think $8. And the thing is now it's like I think going for like 100. And I'm like, it's crazy. I was like, man, these books, they just man, it's unbelievable what people are paying for books. But hey, it happens, right? If you want that, if you want it, FOMO is a real disease. Let me tell you.
See, that was the blessing and curse of COVID, right? I mean, the blessing was, not that there was a blessing in this thing, but it pretty much helped create this comic community we're in.
Absolutely.
And then the downside was it tripled the prices of everything we collect.
Well, I think that also. I think that goes into effect what Nick was saying, where like we see like what so and so just got, so he's going to go buy it. But then if he shows that he just got it, and then another person like Bill goes and buys it, you know what I mean? So then all of a sudden, the numbers are just going up. So of course they're gonna, there's going to be dirty flippers that are out there.
Dirty flippers.
That goddamn Bill.
Always Bill. No.
Always that Bill.
I think anything that Comic Mag Musings buys, that's the Bill you're talking about, right?
Oh no, I was just saying the name Bill. But but when I always say Bill, we always think of course, of course we're thinking of Mr. Bill.
Right? Oh goodness. So Roscoe.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna start doing the goodbyes here. We're gonna go to Nick, we'll go to me, then you as our guest get the last goodbye, and then we sing ourselves out awkwardly. All right, so that's what we do on this show.
Yeah.
Nick.
All right.
What have you got coming up? And is Ignacio in it at all?
Yes, Ignacio is in it. That's the only static thing I have. When I hear this sound, wind whistling through orifices, I know it's time for holes to be filled. So Ignacio and I will be there Thursdays, 12 noon Eastern time, and who knows what we'll be talking about, but it's some good stuff always. So,
yep. Ignacio's right here. I got Ignacio's piece right here for the Comic Book Community Awards. Shout out.
Nice.
Awesome artist.
And do you have any more unboxings coming, Nick? Anything else coming back?
No, actually, I am up to date at CGC.
Wow.
I'm lying. I think I have one more box, but it's in pressing, so I won't see it for a while.
I was going to say with CBCS right there, you seem to have a steady stream.
Oh, that stuff I got. But yeah, you said CGC, so I said CGC.
Oh, gotcha. All right. And coming up for me this week, we, of course, got Savage Saturday Comic Review. And in a couple weeks' time, we got another The 10-1-1. So check Rob and I out on that. Our next guest is Switch Comics, so that'll be fun. And next week in the hot seat, I already forgot because I have it too far scheduled out. But it'll be another fun show. Don't you guys worry. We'll have a good guest on. Roscoe, I want to thank you for coming on the show because this is yet another episode where the time flew right by, where I just had an absolute blast talking with you, learning about you and having some laughs. And thank you, man. It was a great hour and a half with you.
Appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, it was great. I had a blast, especially with my man Nick and Gary. Thank you so much. Truly appreciate I'm honored that you even asked me to come on the show. I thought it was amazing. So I truly appreciate that. And but yeah, I know. I'm like, oh my gosh. I looked up at the corner. I'm like, it's already an hour and 20. I'm like, whoa, where did the time go?
Well, and I think Nick and I even got more lost because we started this show an hour earlier because Nick and I were falling asleep at the 9:30 time slot because we're both old men now and we have to work. We have to get up early in the morning. So what have you got coming up on your show, Roscoe? And where are you appearing next? Is it Cover Slingers? Is it Sith Lordly's channel? Is it someone we haven't seen you on before? What's happening with you?
Okay, so tomorrow I am going to do my very best to drop a new Check Your Shorts video. I've been editing it for a couple weeks, but it's just, things happen in life, and but I want to get that done, so I will have that out tomorrow. I'm going to definitely do it. So, and it has to do with someone in the community, so I cannot wait.
I love the Chip Gettler one.
The one with Rod was my favorite. That one with Rod is hilarious.
Yeah. So check Your Shorts is like a short video that I do on my channel every couple of weeks or so. It's just 30. I don't do anything more than a minute. Just something that makes everyone laugh, because sometimes we just need to. Yes, Ross Coin, please go to moon. Yes. But yeah, check that out. And then Saturday, Cover Slingers, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Grayman's channel. That's always a wild show. It's unbelievable what gets said on that show, and I can't believe it.
It's funny. Yeah,
and then next is I'm on Spinetix the same day at 11 p.m. and I can't believe what's said on that show. Yeah, I'm on 2 wild shows on Saturday. It's a lot of fun, but everyone get excited because on Monday, Between the Lines, we are going to have Mr. Free Energy. Right there, he just put up his comment there. So, Free Energy is going to be on. I think he still is. I just said it. Now he's like, oh shoot, just sent me a message. No. But he's supposed to be our guest this Monday, 8:00 Eastern Standard Time on Monday. I'll be on my channel with Cardboard Crazies, and yeah. Oh yeah, we'll see Bill, of course, on Cover Slingers. The guy pays people PayPal to get his votes.
The best thing about that show is some of the covers like that him and Jambo and all those guys show are just amazing. And I don't say this lightly, but Bill has got some of the best comic covers I've ever seen. And the things that he has slabbed are so unique, especially some of that pre-code horror. It's just amazing.
Well, and also a lot of his books are what, Conan?
That doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I love that.
Can't fault the man for having good taste, Ross.
Yeah. Well, it's I want to ask you a real question real quick, Gary.
Absolutely.
And I've never read a Conan book ever. I've never read a Conan book. I did read Barbaric. And I absolutely loved Barbaric.
Barbaric is so good.
Yeah. I just wish it was only 3 freaking issues.
There's 3 more coming out in the next month. They're doing, yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. Yeah, but I do want to read Savage is it Savage Avengers? And that's run by Conan, right?
Yep. The first series of that just ended at issue 28. And from 1 to 28 is probably it. It nailed the ending like no series I've ever read. The ending was so good and so spot on. There is only Greg Dugan wrote that series. It's amazing. There's only 3 week issues in that whole 28 issue run. And that's when they made him do that force freaking tie-in with the King in Black.
Oh,
but outside those, and even in those 3 issues, there's a couple funny interactions like with Conan and Deadpool. Because Conan is so practical and so of the moment. And as soon as he finds out that Deadpool can't die and they're stuck in a jail cell together, he grabs Deadpool and shoves him face first through the bars, breaking all his bones. So Deadpool's on the other side and can get him out.
Oh, man, that's awesome. Oh, yeah, I've heard good things, though. So that's I think that may be the first actual, Conan book that I may read. So,
if you're looking to read it, Jason Aaron and Mahmoud Asrar have their King Conan series out now. It's only going 6 issues, and it is 3 issues in, and it's fucking amazing. It's so good. Jason Aaron nails Conan. Mahmoud Asrar's art is gorgeous, beautiful, detailed, and exactly what Conan should be.
Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah. But I'm not gonna lie. One of my favorite covers, hands down, is Conan issue number 1, where he looks like he's doing the Bigfoot walk. Yeah. For some reason, I love that cover. And then
One
when
of the best in
Barbaric,
comics history.
yeah, I love that cover. I don't know why, but I'm like so drawn. There's some covers that I'm like, man, I really want just that cover. I'm a cover lover, as I told you before. I love variants, so I'm a big cover lover. But when Barbaric did the variant and did the homage to that, I was like, that's in my collection, easy.
And with Barbaric, I was like, man, a talking axe. I don't know if I'm down with that. And then you read it, and the axe is brilliant. Like the axe is so good, and that whole relationship. And I'm with you. When that 3 issues ended, like, well, no, I want more right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And then it's funny because like his name is Owen the Barbarian.
I was just gonna bring that up. I just love Owen.
Yeah. Like what? Yeah. But with a bloodthirsty axe it's genius. And it's just that's all. That was like on my top 10 list for last year's books to read. So I absolutely loved it though. But yeah. So check out. We'll talk. You're gonna have to. I'll take that name down and stuff. King Conan, you said?
Yeah,
I have to write that down.
It's current right now coming out. You can go to your LCS and pick up the first 3 issues.
Gotcha. Nice.
But the original run's good too. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, there's so many things I need to read though. There's so much. It's insane. I mean, it's like my backlog is absolutely just.
I have 2 long boxes of books I need to read.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah,
and where I get stuck is I don't like to read a miniseries until I have the whole collected miniseries. And then I sit down and read it as a one shot. Like I just read Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
That was so good.
Evil. Mike, Evil's Comics. Mike from Evil's Comics just told me about it.
It was such a fantastic read. And every single issue, it's probably one of the best reads I've read in a while. I was really blown away by Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Just incredible.
That artwork by Laura, help me out, Mike. What's the last name? Laura something. Phenomenal.
Right.
Phenomenal.
The artwork reminded me of old heavy metal books.
Oh, okay. See, I kind of said that.
Feel?
Well, it kind of, what it reminded me of? Like her cape when it was all like tattered and all beat up. It kind of reminded me a little bit of McFarlane-esque. And then with the coloring and stuff kind of remind me of like the coloring that Mike Spicer did with Daniel Warren Johnson, where it has like a lot of warm tones. And then it's like kind of like, I thought the artwork was fantastic though. So
me too.
I'm on board, but Mike is like, dude, you got to read it. So that's literally like one of my next books I'm about to read. That series. So
and that artist conveys a lot of emotions through the face and the eyes. Like she really, it's good.
That's awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to read that. So but
it looks like
awesome,
Nick dipped out for a second. Are we gonna do there he is. All right. So Roscoe, once again, thank you. Chat, thank you very much. And guys, as we always like to end this thing, awkward ending. Awkward.